Shalom Israel. Just want to talk to y'all about basically showing y'all an example of how our people sell us out. So yesterday on social media, somebody posted something that that Queen Latifah and Salah. When I pull out of this complex, the sun about to hit me right in the face. Salah. But Queen Latifah and these developers, these real estate developers, are basically buying up a bunch of blocks in North and gonna fix them up, and then they're gonna, the apartments are gonna go for $1,800 per unit per month. So here's what I have to say about that. My humble opinion. One of those real estate developers I actually knew back in high school. Not my best friend, not cool with me like that, but we cool. We've been cool. But, this dude came from poverty, came from the hood, used to hustle, you know what I mean? And, it's not to slander, it's to show the humble beginnings that somebody can come from, right? To now you're a real estate developer, and y'all have to understand what this is. They're Ephraimites, by the way, so-called Puerto Ricans. I guess they're working with Queen Latifah, who's another sellout. And I'm going to tell y'all why all these people are sellouts, including that real estate developer that I'm talking about, that I went to high school with. All right, when you talk about a neighborhood like North, that was weird. When you talk about a neighborhood like North, people grow up in the hood and shit. You have to consider. You have to very seriously consider I'll deal with that when I park. I can't read all that, but all right. So, real estate development is a word that you hear a lot, and it sounds positive, right? And this goes to show you the power of the media. They show you a bunch of black and Hispanic people with hard hats on and shovels, who are never going to use those shovels because all they're doing is fucking paying for the shit to go down. So what they do is they build up, high price, low quality condos and shit, right? High price, low quality. These condos and all these things are no good. They're average at best. So what happens is they either make people sell their houses, eminent domain. Because eminent domain, the way it works is you have to have, if you own a piece of land, if you own a home on a place where the city or town or municipality feels that they can make something that's better for the greater good of the township or the city, then your ass is out of there. They'll give you money for your house and send you packing. So, for example, you live in a war-torn neighborhood, property values down because of crime, like the number blocks in Newark, which is where this project is going on with Queen Latifah and these goddamn sellout spics, right? So they in the number blocks, right? And I wish they would have kept that bullshit in Elizabeth too. They was doing it all over Elizabeth, all over the port, downtown, where the projects in Elizabeth used to be at. Now they doing the shit in Newark. So what they're doing is, you know, they're doing this whole real estate developer thing right there, knocking down houses where people used to hustle at and all that, and then building up high price, low quality apartments. Because these apartments that they call high quality luxury apartments, I lived in a luxury apartment. Fucking what was that called? Maple Gardens, man. You brothers that remember when I used to live in them project buildings in Irvington, that's all they was project buildings. They called them shits luxury apartments. They wasn't. What the fuck was luxury in them? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so these, you know, real estate developers, what they do is they petition the city, hey, let us fix this neighborhood up. You know, and they name their price. And, you know, the city will go 9 times out of 10 with the lowest price. You know, so like I said, they build up, you know, very nice looking apartment complexes. Everything looks nice. A lot of shit is modern. But overall, what they're going to do, charging people $1,800 to live there per month, is a fucking tragedy. You know what I'm saying? Like people there probably pay $800 to $1,000 a month in rent, if that. Of course, you're not considering the people that, you know, Section 8 and all that. People that are on TRA. Right? So basically, fuck Newark Housing Authority. You know, now you're going to have high price. And you know, to them, they're saying that they're building up the neighborhood. But what actually happens to the people that live there is they're going to be kicked out. Most of them don't own homes. Most of them rent. The ones that do own, you know, be a grandmother that worked her whole life, you know, to give her children the better. You know, that was a house that she could have possibly passed down to her children. Not no more. Now they're going to knock it the fuck down and put apartments up for rich people, like as if Newark were some fucking downtown New York or some shit, some fucking, you know, turn that bullshit into some basically some bullshit. So poor people have to go somewhere else now. Not only do poor people have to go out somewhere else, but now the drug dealers and all the people in the hood, all the business that was taking place there has to move. So now that makes other areas more dangerous now, obviously. You're taking over a section of Newark that was once, because poverty and danger go hand in hand. Now, so you get a fucking Mickey D's where a trap house used to be. You get a fucking Starbucks where a nigga, you know, where there was a mural of a nigga that got shot. You know what I'm saying? So you got poor people getting pushed out of their homes by real estate developers. You know what I'm saying? And the real estate developers and the newspapers look like heroes. Like, yeah, we're building up Newark. We're not building up Newark for black people, though. That ultimately what it is the poor black people in Newark are going to be pushed out. And they're going to bring in other sellout spics, other sellout black people, other people that don't give a flying fuck about black people. So Newark, the worst hoods in Newark is going to become, you know, well-to-do, but the people are going to change. You're going to have different people altogether, a totally different people. And that's what happens with real estate development. If you live in an area that's been destroyed, property value is low due to violence and crime, all they're gonna do is just kick motherfuckers out. Go do your crime somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? But there's still gonna be crime. They're not gonna deal with the aspect that causes crime, which is the poverty. They're just going to push the crime elsewhere. Like, it's about time we start telling motherfuckers what it is, man. Real estate developers, a lot of y'all are fucking sellouts, coons and pieces of garbage. And I want no parts of y'all. Just like the, you know, for the locals, places like the Lobby, the Garden, fucking Barcode, those are owned by the same type of scumbags. These are the ones that said, oh, we don't want to play hip-hop music in here. You know, we don't want people over here dancing to hip-hop. We want people, you know, dancing to bachata and all that other garbage. It's the same shit. You don't want to play hip-hop because and for business purposes, I understand why you wouldn't want to play hip-hop. Hip-hop does bring a violent crowd. But if you play it once in a while, like, calm the fuck down. All you niggas that, all them guys that own those places used to be in the hood bumping hip hop too. You know, but that's one thing I notice about, like, a lot of these dudes in the hood, you know, especially 10 tribes, especially Hispanics, man. You get out the hood and you forget who the fuck you are. You get out the hood and you forget that you was once poor. And Esau, the so-called white man, will let you forget that shit. He'll incentivize that you forgot it. I'm not sitting here saying, like Havoc said in that song Survival of the Fittest, no matter how much loot I get, I'm staying in the projects. But I will say this. No matter how much loot I get, Lord willing, I will never forget that I was once poor. As fuck, too. You don't want to know the level of poverty that I knew. At least other niggas grew up fresh to death in the hood. Having the latest everything. I didn't have the latest shit. My sneakers couldn't even technically be considered sneakers. You know, so, you know, like I said, man, you know, it's time to put these fucking real estate developers on blast, because the news and the newspapers are gonna say, oh, yeah, you're bettering things, you're making things better. No, you're making things better so that a different type of person can move in there and be able to say, hey, you know, I live in Newark. Newark's not such a bad place. Meanwhile, you're pushing the drug dealers on top of each other in other parts of Newark. What do you think is going to happen when you do that? The people that live in that area, the prices are going to go up. Their landlords are going to say, I can get more money for this old ass apartment. Fuck it, them high rises is going for $1,800 a month. I could charge this old lady who doesn't work, lives off of Social Security, $1,500. They don't give a fuck about you, man. They don't give a fuck about you. Poor people, I tell you, these real estate developers. I'm not talking about people that do real estate. I'm talking about the ones that actually build houses. It sounds like such a noble thing that they're doing. They're not building houses. They're building houses to get rich. And unfortunately, people that are poor cannot make people rich. So there you have it. Bunch of evil ass people, man. And it starts with my people. That's the funny part about it. Queen Latifah, so-called woke sister, calls herself, she was one of the first black women in the hood to call herself queen. Now everybody's, oh, hey, queen, peace, queen. Not me, though. But it just goes to show you, man, our people have sold us out. Like I said, them real estate developers, I know one of them from high school. That dude came from the same struggle. He forgot it, obviously. You know, but with that, I'm going to say shalom and, you know, on to the next one.